Hi, my name is Emily Neville, and as you can see, I am in the church library. And I'm here today to talk about a new program we have at the library, which involves some suggestions for all the time you have off in the summer and want to relax with a good book. You might have seen these. They're outside of the church. They're also in the library. And our librarian, Sue, has come up with a list of some summer reading suggestions. So in this brochure is a series of different suggestions for books that you might read. The books are here in the library. They're free of charge. Pick one up, sign it out, read it at your leisure, and then return it. I don't know if there's a prize for the person who reads the most books, like in the public libraries, but we'll see. So in this brochure, they have it divided into 4 different categories. For adults, for teens, for ages 9 through 12, and for all ages. This brochure is beautiful. It's very nicely done, although I would make one slight correction. I think a lot of these books could be used for a lot of different ages, not just the age that it says. So I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about this program and about 2 of the books that I have used a lot in my school. I was an English teacher for many years, and for the past 15 years I have been blessed to be a teacher at Seaside Christian Academy. It being a Christian school, the books that we read are just a little bit different than some of the ones. That's not true. They're a lot different than some of the books that your children might have read in public school. And I'm here today to talk about 2 of the books on this list that are recommended for teens. And I have used them several times for teens, but I would very, very highly encourage you to use these books on your own. They're by the same author, C.S. Lewis, also known as Clive Staples Lewis, who is best known probably for his Chronicles of Narnia series. Now, the Chronicles of Narnia are not on the book list, but again, I would recommend them for anybody ages 6 and up because they're wonderful books that have a Christian theme through it. C.S. Lewis was a Christian as an early child. He lost his faith as he was growing up, and he didn't become Christian again until he was about age 30. And sometimes the people who can give you the most information are those that have gone through a bad time. So C.S. Lewis's books are wonderful to help you come to faith or renew your faith. The first book I'd like to talk about that's on our list, and it's recommended for teens, and I have taught it probably 10 times, is a book called The Screwtape Letters. Not a very big book. It's a pretty easy read, but I will say that every time I read it, I get something different out of it than the last time I've read it. So if you think of our Bible as a book that gives you direction for how to become a Christian, this is the opposite, but it's a very powerful book. Screwtape is a demon. Screwtape is writing letters to his nephew, Wormwood, to help Wormwood figure out how to capture a man's soul. This is a good man. He's grown up knowing Christianity. This takes place during World War I, so this man has to fight in the war. He's also fighting worldview of things. And Screwtape is giving advice to Wormwood on how to get this man's soul. Now, that might not sound like a very good topic, but there's so many things in this book that touch teens, and I say would touch anybody who reads it. One of the quotes from the book that I find interesting, and this is what Screwtape says too. It says, "The safest road to hell is a gradual one, a gentle slope, soft underfoot without sudden turnings, without milestones, without signposts. So in this book, the nephew, Wormwood, is not a demon in a red suit with a forked tail and a pitchfork. He's a normal person working against this man. The man in the book is called the patient because he's trying to help him make it to hell. And in this book, as you might guess, the enemy is Jesus. So this is a series of letters that suggest ways that common man can be courted by the devil without even realizing it. It's a very powerful book, like I said. Teenagers do love this book. They might not understand all of it the first time they read it, but each time you do read it, you get more out of it. So one of the books on our list, C.S. Lewis, The Screwtape Letters. I hope you'll enjoy it. The second book that I was asked to talk about today, as I have also taught at Seaside, it's also recommended for teens. It's also by C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis, his genre of writing says fiction and apologetics. Now, in my opinion, fiction and apologetics are opposites. So I don't know how you would rate these books. Obviously, the Screwtape Letters, if it's a demon writing, this would be fiction, although some of the ideas are definitely real. Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis is different. In this book, C.S. Lewis, like I said, he's become a Christian at a later age, and he is defending how powerful being a Christian is in this world. It's a worldview versus a biblical worldview. There's a big difference. So C.S. Lewis, in this book, on the back, it says, C.S. Lewis is the ideal persuader for the half-convinced, for the good man who would like to be a Christian, but finds his intellect getting in his way. You might have heard people before that say Christianity, one of the quotes in this book, C.S. Lewis says, people believe Christianity in one of three ways. It's either a bunch of liars, or a bunch of lunatics, or it's all true, and the followers follow God. I tend to believe the last part of that. But in this book, he's talking about reasons why we know God exists. He talks about what the theology of being a Christian is. He talks about Christian ethics. And he also talks about what our conception of God is in our own life. So the first book, The Screwtape Letters, there are parts of it that are very funny. There are parts of it that are going to touch you because you might be experiencing some of the same doubts that the patient does in this. The second book, Mere Christianity, is not funny. It's deeper. It's going to require some thought if you read it, but it also gives you all kinds of ideas that perhaps you haven't thought about how important Christianity is and how real it is. It's not liars. It's not lunatics, but it's true followers of God. So I hope you come to the library. I hope you find something that interests you or interests someone you know. There are books here for children. There are books here for all ages, up from childhood on up. Please check us out. One of the library people will be doing more book talks during the summer. Hope you come down and see what we have. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy reading. Thanks for listening.